Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you guys are new. Today's video is going to be a pretty casual one. I have a head cold and I'm not feeling very well, so I feel like I sound really stopped up. So we're just gonna have to look past that for today's video. I'm currently sitting on a couch that has no legs on it because we got a new couch, and my dog is also laying next to me and making a lot of noise. I think he's mad that I'm talking and he wants to be sleeping, but yeah. We're gonna just be talking about some effortless makeup products today. I've got 10 makeup products to share with you, and then one that is a makeup tool, and it kind of just makes the process a little bit easier when taking off your makeup. So I feel like this is a really fitting video for today because I'm not feeling like putting in a lot of effort right now. I don't feel the best. It's just the change of the weather outside. It's just got me feeling a little bit off. So it's going to be a little bit more casual. Hopefully you guys are okay with that, but let's jump in with the first product. When I was planning for this video, the first thing that I thought of was this product from Oma. I have been loving this. I feel like I'm mentioning it in every video, but this is their Double Take Sculpt and Strobe Duo Stick. Now, I have mine in White Pearl, which is the lightest option, but I believe they have 6 different options, so there's gonna be something for you. I specifically love the contour side. This is a contour and highlight duo. I love this contour so much. I think I've used it over powder, but I typically just use it right on top of foundation. You can draw this directly onto your skin, blend it out with a brush. You don't have to hurry, you don't have to rush. You barely have to tap it in and it's gonna be perfectly blended. It looks so beautiful on the skin, and I just really love that. The highlight is also really pretty, but I don't reach for it quite as much. Sometimes I'll just reach for this for the contour, but I would say occasionally I'll reach for the highlight as well. I just really like the contour of this. I think this is the most cool tone contour that I have in my collection, out of the cream ones at least, which I just really like that. And I really just am obsessed with this. And then, of course, like I said, there's the highlight as well. Now, I've mentioned this before, but this product retails for $40. I don't think you should pay $40 for it. I do think it's really worth it because it's such a good product, but it goes on sale for $15 constantly. So I won't mention it too much here because I feel like I've already talked about that, but just keep an eye on their website because randomly they'll put it on sale. Just recently it was on sale for like $19.50 or something. So for that $20, like $15 to $20, I think snag it if you're looking at it, but I wouldn't suggest paying the $40 just because I know how often it goes on sale. So that's kind of where I'm at with that, but I really love this. It's so effortless to blend in. I don't think you'd have a problem putting it on over powder. Like I said, I think I've done that before, but I'm just not 100% sure. I don't typically put it over powder. I think I've got a good mix here of high-end and drugstore. So let's jump to a drugstore since technically Oma Beauty is more high-end. So this blush from Essence I think is so effortless and so easy to use. I don't love the packaging, but this video is really just about the actual product. But this is their Mosaic blush. I have mine in the shade All You Need Is Pink. And it's just such a nice, like, light blush. So you can pick up way too much of it and it's still gonna be okay on your skin. You know, it's not gonna be like too bold and pigmented, but you can build it up to be a pretty nice blush look. But I just really like how easy to use this is. And I just think it's a really pretty kind of everyday blush if you're wanting something that's effortless. It's also super affordable, so you cannot go wrong there. The high-end blush that I wanted to talk about was the Hourglass blush. This one is in Mood Exposure. This one, again, you can just pick up so much of this and you're not gonna go overboard. I really like that. You're not gonna go overboard with it and have clown cheeks or anything, but I just think that this is such a nice blush. It's actually kind of similar, just in the sense that it's like pretty neutral, like the Essence one, and when you blend it out on the cheeks, they give a similar effect. It's a little bit rosy, but it's not, you know, overly peach or purple or anything like that. So I really like this one too, and I just don't think you can go wrong with it. All right, let's jump back to drugstore. I am obsessed with these lipsticks. These are from Ulta Beauty. I just had the one shade in 332 Social Status, but I decided to pick up 2 more when they recently had their buy 2 get 1 free. So I have the shade, well, I told you I had the shade Social Status, but I picked up the shade 383. I think this one is Toasted Almond. Their shades frustrate me because they have the number on the bottom of the lipstick, but they have actual names, so you have to really remember them. And I don't remember the name of the other one, but it's shade 300, and I can link them below. But I think specifically for this formula, a Your Nude kind of shade is going to be the way to go if you want it to be effortless, because it is a creamy formula. So I don't think you'd want anything too bold or too deep in comparison to your lip color, just because it might move around a little bit. I'm not sure, I don't have any bold or deep colors, but out of the three that I have, they're all nudes, and I just don't think you can go wrong with them, especially the shade Social Status that I've had for the longest. I could apply this without looking in a mirror if I needed to, and I wouldn't have to worry too much about it. So let me show you the shades here. The first one is going to be that 332 Social Status, and it looks a little bit darker, I feel like, on the swatch. When I put it on my lips, of course, because the pigment of my lips is a lot closer to this lipstick, I feel like the shade looks pretty similar to my natural lip color, but it's just a little bit more polished and it looks a little bit more like put together. Versus, I think when I don't wear lipstick, you can just tell that I don't have any on, and this kind of just completes the look without adding any sort of like dramatic effect with the lipstick. So I just really like that as my like nude option. Let me swatch the shade number 300 next to that one, just because it's also a little bit more pink. It's lighter though, so it's gonna give a little bit more of a nude look. I miss the days when I could breathe. But again, I can't remember the actual name of this one, but it's just, like I said, a little bit lighter than Social Status. Honestly, they're pretty similar, which is another thing that kind of stinks about Ulta, is that their swatches on their website are awful. They don't look like the actual shade at all. But I swatched this one in store, and I do really like the way that it looks on the lips. I do feel like it actually looks different on the lips for some reason, but I honestly just don't mind that they're similar, because I can keep one in my purse and have one in my makeup collection. They're not the exact same, so I don't have a duplicate, but I can kind of use them interchangeably depending on if I'm like out of the house and need the one in my purse, or I'm getting ready in the morning. It's not going to change the look too much, but I do feel like there's a slight difference. And then last up, there's the shade 383, and I think this one's called Toasted Almond. I really am liking this one, especially for fall. This is like a nice kind of brownie nude, and I'm really, really enjoying this one. It's got a little bit more warmth to it. It's a little bit more of like an almond color, like a little bit more just burnt looking. I don't know, toasted, I guess. The name for this one's pretty good. But I think the three of these make a really nice effortless lip color. So I would really suggest any of these, especially if you pick up one that's kind of your nude shade or close to it. I definitely think it's gonna fall into that effortless category for you. I find that the wear time's pretty typical for a bullet lipstick. It doesn't wear off weirdly, and I don't have to stress to reapply it because I don't need a mirror. And if I forget to reapply it for a couple extra hours, then maybe when I have noticed it's kind of faded away, it's fine and it's not going to look weird. Jumping back to high end, I think this is the last lip product that I have to share, but this is actually what I have on my lips right now. This is the Milk Tea Gloss Shot from Kaja, and the shade is Milk Tea. You guys might know that I used up an entire like little mini one of these, but I love this lip gloss. It is so nice. I can't smell a lot right now, but I know that this smells really good. It's kind of like a subtle vanilla sort of a scent. I really like the doe foot on this as well. It's kind of like a paddle shape, but it has a slight curve to it, which is just really nice when you're applying lip gloss, especially on the outer part of the curve. It picks up a little bit less product than the inner part. So depending on like how much you're wanting to apply, you kind of have two options there. So I really like that. And I like the packaging of this too. I feel like it's very simple and sleek, and I really enjoy using this. I use the other one, the mini that I have. It's in the shade Rosy Mocha, and I put it on my desk at work, and I just reach for it all day long. I love it so much. It's not sticky at all. It provides such a nice just gloss. I barely put any on my lips, but I'll add some more so you can see it. It's just so beautiful. Like, I think it's just amazing. It is not sticky at all. This is probably the least sticky gloss that I've ever used that actually looks glossy. Like, it doesn't look like a chapstick. It actually looks like a beautiful lip gloss. So I really, really recommend this one, especially this shade. But I like the Rosy Mocha one too. They're not really opaque, which is probably why I like them so much. I like just to kind of add the shine, but they do have a slight tint to them based on what color you get. So I really do love this lip gloss though. Okay, we've actually kind of run out of our back and forth here. I've got several more drugstore products and just one more high end, but another drugstore is this CC cream or BB cream. This is from Purito. It's their Cica Clearing BB Cream. I don't know what the difference is between a BB cream and a CC cream, but apparently this one is a BB cream. But I love this stuff. I just used up a whole bottle of this. This is my next bottle of it, the second one I've ever had. But I have this in the shade number 21 Light Beige. The one thing I have to add about this is that their shade range is not good. That's just so frustrating, but I really love this for the quickest makeup you can ever do. Like in 5 seconds, this is what I'm gonna go for because it can kind of transform my skin to not only just cover up some redness and make me more awake looking, but it can, I feel like, kind of look like I cannot talk, I'm so tired, and okay, I think my brain has gone to sleep. But I feel like I can kind of make my skin look like I put bronzer or contour on as well. Like I really put more effort in than I actually did, and even concealer too. Sometimes I'll skip concealer and just make sure to bring this all the way up to the under eyes. So I really can't recommend this enough. It's less than $10. I think it's about $8. It's on Amazon, and I really love this. They're also cruelty-free, which is why I switched from the Misha BB cream. I really liked that one too, but they're not cruelty-free, so I just switched over to this one. But if you can find a shade that will work for you, I would highly suggest checking out reviews. I've tried 2 shades, so I'll link below my review video where I tried this shade, and I think number 13, so you can see the difference. But on quick reference, number 21 is my shade. It's way cool tone, like it almost is gray, but don't let that scare you away. Like if you like a cool tone foundation, you'll probably really like it. But the number 13 is a hair deeper than 21 actually. They're kind of weird, and it's way more warm tone. So if you want to see them on my skin, I'll link that video. Okay, let's talk about the next liquid product. This is the last liquid one. This is the Burt's Bees, the Luminizer. It's in the shade Starlight. This product is so effortless. I'm telling you guys, I think it's so perfect. You can use it in so many different ways. You can use it under your foundation. You can use it as a highlight. You can use it over powder. You could, I guess, go for like a glossy eyelid look. I haven't tried that yet, but I think it could be fun to test out if you're kind of going for a more like editorial look and you want something really dewy and juicy looking. But I like this better than the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter, so it's called. Yeah, I think this is better. It's so much cheaper. I like the packaging better. It's just a squeezy tube instead of a doe foot that barely picks up any product. You can kind of, what I'll do is I'll just kind of put it on. Actually, I'll add a little bit so you guys can see. I've been wearing this makeup for like 10 hours at this point, but it will not move your makeup. You can tap it in with your fingers. You could use a brush. You can rub it in if you don't already have your makeup on. You could use a sponge. I mean, it just doesn't matter. You don't have to rush with it. You could let it kind of sit there. It's just so pretty. It's gonna dry down, and it's not super tacky or anything. It's really not sticky, and I just think it is so I just think it's so nice. It's really reflective, but kind of depending on how you use it, you can make it more subtle or more bold. Yeah, so effortless, as you guys could see. I mean, it's just so easy to use. I love it. Okay, we've just got a few more products here. So next up is our last high-end product. This one is from Charlotte Tilbury. This is her Film Star Bronze and Glow Duo. Again, the shade range is not really good in this one, just to be honest with you guys. There's only 2 different options. I do have the lighter of the 2. This one is in fair medium. This works so well for me because the problem that I have with a lot of bronzers is that they're so pigmented that they will begin to look patchy on my fair skin. So I love that I can just dig my brush into this and not think twice about it. Same thing with the highlight. It's going to give you a really nice subtle glow, but it's not going to be, you know, it's not going to have chunks of glitter. It's not going to be over the top reflective or anything like that. So I just feel like the pans in this can kind of just show you that I love it so much because I reach for it constantly. I haven't reached for it as much like super recently, but I mean, I think the proof is in the pudding here. I use it all the time. This I think is just super effortless, especially if you have fair skin and you don't like a bronzer especially. Highlights I feel like are a little bit easier to come by. There's a lot less variation in formula, but both of these products in the duo are just so effortless and so easy to use. Very, very beginner friendly. Next up is this powder from CoverGirl. This is their Clean Fresh Pressed Powder. I've got mine in the shade 120 Fair. This is such an easy powder to just throw on your face. If you pick up too much, again, it's not gonna look cakey, it's not gonna look overboard. It will just set down your makeup. Nothing will be tacky or sticky underneath this. Once you set it, it's just going to be a really nice, natural sort of a finish. It doesn't feel like you've got a layer of powder sitting on your skin. It doesn't smell weird. Like some powders I feel like just smell like powdery. I don't notice that with this one, and I think that it's just so easy to use. I will dig a brush into this all day long, and then you can kind of use it all over your face, or you can kind of target it more. You can just use it however you want. It's also great for setting down a concealer on the eyelid if you don't want to use a primer or an eyeshadow for that. So I really think this is like one of the most effortless powders you could get, especially with it being pressed. You know, you're not dealing with like a messy loose powder. The last makeup product is kind of a 2-in-1. I was thinking about what kind of eyeshadow I think is like the most effortless to use in my collection. What do you have to blend the least? You don't have to worry about the, you know, the shimmers. Now I will say I typically always use an eyeshadow base, not all the time. I'd say probably an eyeshadow base like 70% of the time, but I always use NYX glitter glue. Like 95% of the time, if I'm gonna use a shimmer shade, I've got NYX glitter glue underneath it. So that's just like my preference in general. I've got, you know, like a pretty big crease in my eyes, and they're a little bit hooded. So, you know, it's kind of hard for shadows not to crease on me. That being said though, I know I've used both of these palettes without either of those products, and I don't remember having any problem with it, but it's these two palettes from ColourPop actually. And I'm actually surprised to say this because I do think some of their palettes are hit or miss, but specifically the two that I have and would recommend for this as just being an effortless eyeshadow are the Making Mauves palette, which is going to be, you know, your more mauve leaning colors. But I did replace this shade here with a shade from the Going Coconuts palette because I don't like the matte with the shimmers in it, but every other shade in here is so easy to use, just super effortless. I don't always love the shade a la Mode, which is the one right here in the middle, but depending on what you're going for, it can still be really pretty. It's just not like personally my favorite. But in terms of the matte shades and how easily they blend, and then especially the two shades here, Bi-Coastal and Mauve on top, they're just so easy to use. They create such a beautiful, effortless look, which is what I'm always going for. So I love this one. But then if you're not into like the purpley mauve tones, this one in That's Taupe is also incredible. I kind of think I might suggest this one even a little bit more just because it doesn't have that kind of weird shade, the shimmer one from Making Mauves that I mentioned. And it also doesn't have any mattes with pressed glitter in them or like glitter pieces. Gosh, you guys, I feel like I can barely breathe. If you're still watching at this point, thank you. I feel like I look like a mess. But this palette really doesn't have any kind of weird shades in my opinion. I think every single one of them performs so beautifully. I love it. It's so easy to use. I do kind of wish it had like a bone color matte shade, but I know a lot of people don't like that, so that's fine. I would just usually use the shade Boa very lightly, kind of all over the lid to kind of set my primer down. But I just feel like both of these palettes, especially the matte shades, but the shimmers too, are just so effortless to use. You can't go wrong with these, and especially because they're more monochromatic, you don't have to put a lot of thought into them either to create a really cohesive and beautiful look. Okay, those are all the makeup products I had to talk about, but I do have one makeup tool that is just so effortless to use. I cannot believe that I sometimes don't use these. And what I'm talking about are the makeup erasers. Now, specifically, this is one of those things where I haven't tried an off-brand one that works as well as the name brand. So this is the original makeup eraser. That is what the brand looks like, and I will go ahead and link this exact set down below. But I have 7, like it comes in a pack of 7. And they're all different neutral colors is the one that I got at least, but they have a ton of different themes and things that you can get. They also have larger ones. I do have one, but I think it's in my washing machine right now. And yeah, I use that one too, but I actually prefer this little set of 7. So if you're not familiar with these are just makeup removing towels or washcloths, and they're the perfect size. So the reason you have 7 is you have one for every day of the week, and then once you're done with them, you can just throw them in your laundry. They do come with a little like laundry bag. I'm just being honest, I just throw them in my laundry. I don't have any problems with it, but it is nice that it comes with a little washer bag. So I have seen these actually at TJ Maxx before. You can pick up like a 7-pack from there, but I ordered mine off the website. They've got coupon codes all the time. So, you know, definitely look for one of those. I will just run this underneath warm water. The warmer the water, the better. So I find them to be the most effective under warm water. but I will just kind of drench it in warm water, wring it out for the most part, but not completely, and then kind of press it onto my eye, and it will just completely take off your makeup. Like it's so easy to use. You don't have to keep repurchasing a product. I do occasionally use the products that I have, and sometimes I'll get in the shower and I'll just wash my face in the shower without removing it first. So I don't always use these, but it just makes the process of removing makeup so much easier, especially bold makeup looks, you know, waterproof mascara this can help with, liquid eyeliner, things like that. This is going to really just help remove your makeup without using a ton of product. It's not messy because you're just wiping your face, versus I feel like when I'm washing my face, the water can run down my arms and it just is a little bit more messy. So I think that these are just such an effortless product because all you need is water. You need nothing else. Now, this shouldn't replace you washing your face. Like, just use these to remove your makeup and then cleanse your skin, but these are just the best thing for removing makeup. I love them so much. But like I said, I really just think that the actual name brand is a good bit better than most off brands that I've ever tried. But those are 10 makeup products and one little extra makeup tool that I think are really effortless to use. I think they make my life a lot easier, especially from day to day on like a work day. So I really think that you guys would enjoy some of these products if you're looking for some effortless makeup. If you did enjoy today's video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Also, thank you for dealing with my weird voice and just kind of casual setup. I like posting videos and I'm feeling okay, like for the most part, but I know I don't really sound like it. So I thought I'd go ahead and film. Hopefully you guys don't mind too much, but if you did watch this whole video, I really appreciate it. I know it's not the most, you know, fun to listen to someone who's like real stopped up, but you know, it's life. And I feel like a lot of us are probably in this boat together. So I figured I might as well just gonna go ahead and put on my sweats, pull up my hair, and film a more casual video for you guys because sometimes I just need effortless products. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.